Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Edens, a finance coach, author, and wealth mindset researcher, and I'm so happy to have you joining me here today. Quick announcement, I'm restarting my newsletter and it's going to have all the points that I cover in my videos that I put out for each week in a simple, easy format for you to just get straight to your inbox twice a week. And so that way, if you want to just be able to save ideas that I share in my videos, have it at your fingertips, it's there. It's also on my website, on my blog. So to sign up for my newsletter and to read my blog, you can go to my website. It's www.sarahedens.com. I'll also link to it in the description. And there you will find all the content that we cover in our videos, but in a very easy, condensed format that you can refer back to whenever you want to. So, water. Where we are right now, we are in water restrictions because we're in a drought. We're having the hottest summer on record, or we're right at the point of breaking into the hottest summer on record. It's also been extremely dry. And so water bills have really started to go up, as well as truly needing to find ways to conserve water as well. And I'm sure many parts of the country and the world are also dealing with this right now with this hot, dry summer that we have. You know, some parts of the world are having a lot of rain right now, and then other places it's super duper dry, like how it is right here. But no matter where you are in the world, if you're somewhere where you need to conserve water, whether because you're on restrictions or you want to be able to save some money, then let's get started on these 10 tips. And remember, I have a whole series over on my playlist called Beat Inflation. I'll link to that in the description. And so it has lots of different money saving videos for you with lots of ideas about how to save money during this time when everything's so expensive. And really, the price on everything is so much higher than we're used to, whether that's food, gas, groceries, utilities, you name it. We're really watching the price on everything continue to rise. And so this will just help put some money back in your wallet with these 10 easy tips. So let's get started. So number one for how to save money on your water bill is to keep up with any kind of drips or running toilets, leaky faucets, anything like that. Just keep on top of that and have your plumber in to fix those as soon as you notice them. Because obviously having drips and things like that and just leaky faucets, or even you want to watch your outdoor faucets and make sure they don't have leaks, just to be able to kind of prevent waste basically and keep on top of your maintenance. A lot of plumbing companies too will have an annual plumbing inspection, so you can also look into that as well. And they'll get in there and check everything out. And also what I like to do is really be good about checking under my sinks regularly to make sure I don't have any drips going on there. And then also with my hot water heater, we're fortunate that it's in a place where it's easy to access. If yours is in an attic or a crawl space, it might not be that easy to check. It's pretty easy for me to just visually check and make sure my hot water heater is not leaking. It's also really worth the investment to just get one of those cheap little leak detectors that you can put in the drain pan of your hot water heater. And so that way, if it starts to leak, that little alarm will go off. And then that way you're not left with a big expensive home repair if your hot water heater leaks out and damages drywall or ceilings or walls or what have you. So something to think about there, and I'll link to in the description to the leak detector we have. It's just a little aftermarket one on Amazon. Some of the newer hot water heaters are actually starting to be built with different sensors, so that's something to look into too if you're getting ready to replace yours. But just keep on top of those leaks and drips and make sure water's not going to waste in the first place. Number two is to get your sprinkler system maintained regularly. So this is often spring and fall where your sprinkler company will come out, or if you're really handy, you can do this yourself. But just be able to run your system up, make sure that you don't have blocked heads, leaking heads, leaks in the sprinkler line. And then also, if you work with a company, they'll be able to winterize your system if you live in an area that gets super cold during the winters. So just keeping on top of that so that your sprinkler system isn't costing you money on that front. And also you want to make sure when you're running your sprinklers run them up and make sure that you're not running them to the point where it's just running down the street. You see this all the time in neighborhoods, and it's so sad, where people have their sprinklers on to irrigate their lawns, but it's something about the sprinkler system is set up so it's just watering the street instead and going to the storm drains. So really make sure that your water is staying on your grass when you're watering, and that your sprinkler system is configured that way. Number 3 is to look into installing high efficiency toilets. The EPA actually has what is this called? Yeah, it's a rebate finder. I'll link to it in the description box. And so you can actually go and see if your local area offers rebates on low flow toilets, low flow shower heads, things like that. That can help conserve water. So that you might be able to get a rebate on that, as well as saving yourself some money by getting things that use less water in the first place. Number 4 is to turn your water heater down. So this is more a utility, energy saving tip. But if you have your water heater down at a lower temperature, it's obviously going to save you a little bit of money. You just don't want to turn the heat down so low that everybody's stuck there with cold showers once you've had the dishwasher running, done a load of laundry, and people get to shower time in the evenings, and all of a sudden there's no hot water. So you don't want it to go to that extreme. And then in the winter, what you can do too is you can get a hot water insulating blanket or cover. You can get those on Amazon. And that will also help to keep your power bill more sustainable that way. Not so much a water usage hack there, but more just saving on your bills in general. Number 5 is to run full loads. So this is true whether you're doing the dishwasher, you're doing your washing machine. Really try and make sure that you're running your dishwasher full. You're running full loads of laundry. If you have to wait a couple days in between, just to let things fill up so you're not doing 2 towels or 1 shirt or whatever in the washing machine. If your goal is to save money on your water, or you're needing to conserve water where you are, then that's good, because you still get everything done that you need to get done in terms of your dishes being clean, your clothes being clean, but it can just really help to have everything in a larger load, basically, instead of running multiple small ones. Number 6 is to run your sprinklers during the coolest parts of the day. So this is something you'll often see water departments recommending or even requiring, is that you run your sprinklers in the early morning and then late evening. So this will help your water not just evaporate right back off, and it'll help it soak in and really help your lawn and your flower beds to stay nice and hydrated. And so that can be a really good thing, rather than irrigating your lawn during the hottest part of the day when the sun is beating down, and then all your water is just evaporating right back off. So it kind of defeats the purpose. So really aim for that morning and evening. And that's true too if you're out there watering by hand as well. If you get it first thing in the morning or late in the evening, whatever works best for your schedule, that can really help to help that water just stay on your plants longer and really permeate the soil and get down to their root systems as well. And I know that's really helpful when you're dealing with very hot, very dry weather, like what summer we're having here. Number 7 is to consider planting drought-resistant plants, or even doing xeriscaping, which is basically pulling out your lawn and replacing what you had before with drought-resistant plants and maybe some river rock, things like that. You have to get approval from your community first before you do that in most places. But that can really cut back too on your water usage and your water bill, because that way, rather than having a big lawn to water, if you live in an area that's pretty drought-prone in the summer, or where you're constantly being putting under water restrictions, it can be really good to be proactive and just plan ahead so that you're not caught out every single summer having to deal with a dying lawn, or wondering if you should buy, AstroTurf or go get some spray paint and spray paint your lawn. But, in just a lot of parts of the country, having a lawn year round is just not particularly sustainable or realistic with the drought, and then with needing to conserve water for various reasons. And so it can be really good to just maybe build your lawn and build your everything around your home with that in mind, with thinking about water conservation. And some people will even have rain barrels that they'll catch rainwater off their roof to water their lawn and their flower beds. So you can look into that as well. That's another option if you're looking for a way to capture some of that natural rain and then use it later when you need to. Number 8 is not a super fun one, but you can consider taking shorter showers. So this is something that I'm sure at some point in your life, your parents yelled at you about if you lived somewhere where you needed to save water is, you've been in there for like days, time to get out, and you're wasting water. So this is completely up to you. If your showers are what brings you joy, then find other places to save in your budget. But especially if you're somewhere where you need to focus on water conservation because of actual shortages, because of droughts, that's something they often recommend is to time your showers, take shorter showers, and it can really help cut down on your bills as well, and just overall to control your water use. And that leads me into number 9, which is turn off the water when you're not actively using it. So that's things like when you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, other things like that. Even washing your car, obviously, rather than having the water just running the whole time when you're washing your car, you can get one of those nozzles that turns on and off, and then you're not wasting a lot of water while you're washing your car. Or you can take your car to an automatic car wash because they use quite a bit less water, and so that can be a good option as well. Not to mention automatic car washes are just a huge time saver, so that's a good deal if you're looking to save money and save time, is to just take your car through the car wash rather than have to eat the water bill at home from washing your cars in the driveway. Because in our area, at least, our water department has started actually raising the rates on water usage. So if you exceed a certain amount, it starts to get super pricey for every gallon that you use past a certain amount. And so it's just a good thing to keep on top of. Just keep up with your water department regulations and restrictions, and make sure you're following those and that it's not ending up costing you to, use water the way you normally would when you weren't in a drought. And number 10 is to catch water from other places where you can think about it. We've talked about using a rain barrel. You can also use leftover cooking water if you've been steaming vegetables or boiling pasta or something like that. You can let that cool and then put it out on your lawn, put it on your flowers or your vegetable gardens or what have you, and be able to use that as well. So that can be convenient too if you're just looking for every little bit of water to be able to put to good use. That's something else to think about. So those are the 10 ways to be able to save money on your water bill. I hope where you are that you are not in drought, and particularly not dealing with the threat of wildfires, because that's just been absolutely devastating to watch the way that the wildfires have been affecting in Hawaii. And I've just been so devastated to watch that. I will put a link in the description below if you want to help support what's going on there in Maui, to the food bank there, and they're doing a lot of good for their local community. It's going to be such a long road for them to rebuild. So I'll put a link in the description for that as well. And with these tips about being able to save money on water, it'll apply regardless of if you're in water restrictions or not, regardless of if you're in drought or not. But that way you can always pull these out if you need to. I know we had a wildfire going on north of us, and the local water district was telling people to just conserve water as much as possible because they needed it to fight the fires. And so this will be like a really good toolkit for you. And again, if you sign up for my newsletters at sarahdens.com, or if you want to also go to my website and read the blog post that goes along with this video, you can always refer back to these later. And there's other ways to save money on water, but these were the top 10 ways. So thank you so much for being here until the very end. I'm so happy that you're here and that you're watching my videos and liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I will see you again soon in my next video.